Hey guys, Andrew here with another quick clip, and in this short video we're going to talk a little more about painting mediums, and it's going to be a continuation from part 1, and if you haven't seen that yet, click right here and catch that video now. Now, this week we're going to talk a little bit about the indirect painting approach and also cover a little bit about varnishing. Let's get started. Now, the indirect approach to painting basically means that we're building up one thin layer at a time. This is going to give us a real traditional feel, or could lead to a hyper-realistic result with our painting. The fat on lean principle still applies here, so we need to pay close attention to what's in these mediums and layer them according to the way they were designed to be layered. We must work fat on lean. Now, whenever I'm starting this process of indirect painting, I'm going to begin at the lean side of things with a low toxic underpainting medium. Now again, you would have seen me use this painting medium in blocking in the Stockman. I've also used it for my most recent still life painting to build up a very thin layer of tone first to then work back over. Now, from there, once we have a blocked in layer with our low toxic underpainting medium, which by the way consists of stand oil, low toxic solvent, linseed oil, and cobalt dryer. Once we've built up that layer, we can then go over it after about 24 to 48 hours when it's dry. We can go over it with this painting medium, or in this case, low toxic painting medium. Now this stuff is a little bit fattier, hence the fat on lean principle. Now it's got a little bit more oil in it than the underpainting medium and a little bit less solvent. So this means that I'm going to be able to layer over that and get a nice stable result. I'm going to avoid any cracking or any shifting of that color layer over time, and I'm going to get a nice solid surface buildup. Now, the constituents of this here, the ingredients of this particular medium are stand oil, linseed oil, low toxic solvent, and cobalt dryers. Again, it's just the ratios have changed, making this a little bit fattier. I've used this again in the still life painting, building up those layers from the low toxic underpainting medium. So this will be mainly used for some modeling and some more refined brushwork and techniques there. Now, following along with our indirect painting approach, we might require some finer, more intricate detail, maybe some fine line work like individual strands of hair or maybe blades of grass in a landscape. For that, I'm going to use glaze medium. And when mixed with a small amount of paint, this will increase the flowing aspect to that and give me some incredibly fine marks. I'll use this directly over my painting medium and build up only small patches of detail here and there where required. Now again, I'm following along with my fat on lean principle, starting at the lean end and working my way up towards a fattier result. All of these mediums have got a stand oil base, which means that they're going to be very resistant to yellowing. Now, stand oil is linseed oil that has been heat treated. It's somewhat thicker and will resist that yellowing capacity. Now, I've been hit up through the comment section on YouTube as well as on Facebook and email about how do you varnish a painting. So I'm only going to do a halfway measure here with this quick clip. The quick clip on varnishing is coming out very, very soon, where I'm going to answer these questions in a little bit more depth. But what I have here is a product called RETOUCH Varnish, and I've got two different makes. Again, I'm not sponsored by nor officially endorsing any product here. This is just what I use professionally. Well, what we have here is an Art Spectrum, an Australian company, RETOUCH Varnish, which is fantastic. It has gotten me a really consistent result. And also we have Language Handmade Oil Colors RETOUCH Varnish as well. And the reason I'm showing you both of these is because it's important to note what the contents are in these bottles, because it's going to depend on our application. Now, one of these has got a pure gum or turpentine base to it, and this one made by Language has got a white spirit base to it, which means that even if I washed my brushes and the varnish brush that I'm applying this stuff with pure gum turpentine, it's going to affect the drying time of this RETOUCH varnish because it has got a different base to it. So that said, just pay attention to what's in the bottle and read the instructions carefully before doing this. Now, the beauty of a RETOUCH varnish is I can layer directly over a painting and not have to wait 6 months to a year for that final paint film to go completely dry. The RETOUCH means that I can literally go over it after a couple of weeks. Just make sure you've got a really solid surface dry before applying this. Now, when we look at this as a microscopic layer, or really look closely at what's going on here, we would notice under a microscope that this stuff here is actually got some holes in it and allows the oil painting to continue to breathe through that retouch varnish layer, which means that our painting can continue to cure, but we can get that really nice varnish look before we have to turn loose of our paintings. This is great if you're running late with a deadline, or you've got to get your paintings ready for an exhibition and you don't have time to do that final varnish because you can't wait the 6 months to apply that final varnish. So there you have it, guys. That's a little bit more on painting mediums for you and a little bit about retouch varnish. Now, we can go so much further with this subject, and I'll endeavor to cover a little bit more ground with painting mediums and the more intricate aspects of oil painting for you as we continue this journey together. Now, if you'd like any more information on painting, in particular portrait painting, then why not check out my latest tutorial about painting the portrait. And we're still running for a limited time a promotion where you're going to get the Stockman, a 2-hour portrait painting demonstration for free. You're going to get this for free when you purchase my portrait painting tutorial. Now, all you have to do is hit me up through the website and subscribe through www.andrewtischler.com, and when making your purchase, simply select the Stockman with your promo code that you'll get when you subscribe. Well, guys, if you like what you saw, make sure you hit that like button. If you want to come back for more, make sure you're subscribed to this channel, and as always, you can find me on Instagram or Facebook, but also make sure you're subscribed through www.andrewtischler.com for bonus content and some giveaways. We'll see you again next time.